I got 1, 2, 3, 4 different knives from Kershaw and CT that you guys are definitely going to want to check out. These came out recently and they are all kinds of different deployment methods. Some are auto, some are manual. You guys are definitely going to want to check this one out. I'll have links for all these down below in the description. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, starting things off here, we have the Kershaw Belair. This is the clip point model. Of course, if you're already familiar with the Belair, I mean, what an awesome knife from Kershaw. And it looks like they're giving us a different blade on this one, a clip point model here with a flat grind. We do get a beautiful stonewash finish on it, which I absolutely love. It's going to hide streaks and markings as you use them more and more. And we do have MagnaCut steel on this one. It is also made in good old US of A. So it's a USA made knife. And it is an in-house design here, so you can tell by this little icon there. Got the USA flag, got some jimping here on the blade as well. It's got a very amazing implementation of a crossbar lock. I forget what the Kershaw calls it. I think it's called the Duralock or something like that. It kind of made its way. I remember it was a 2023 or yeah, I think 2023 or so when the Iridium and the Heist and a few other models had their first crossbar lock from Kaiser. So you guys, as you probably already know, Benchmade had a patent on the Axis lock, which has expired for some time now, and a lot of other companies are doing their own version of the crossbar lock. Now, the Omega springs here are tuned, so they're not too hard or too resistant, so it's really, really nice and easy to push back on them or pull back. The only thing we don't get, and we do also see from other brands, is the ability to adjust the Omega springs. If you wanted to, I don't see additional holes for you to adjust the Omega springs. Other companies like Kaiser, for example, does a really good job with their clutch lock, and you can adjust the tension on the crossbar lock. So this one, again, if it felt a little bit loosey for you, if you had that sort of mechanism with additional holes, you could maybe tighten it up a bit, right? Make it a little bit more resistant. But action's great, thumb deployment is good, reverse flick good, and we have micarta on the handle here, proud liners with 1-2 standoffs. And a very, I mean, this is beyond deep carry, right? Way past the end of the handle, we have this very deep carry pocket clip. It's also reversible. There's your lanyard solution back there, lanyard hole. And after all, it is a very ambidextrous style knife. As you can see here with my left hand, we are getting some work done for sure. So absolutely very, very nice and capable knife. Even though I have zero dexterity on my left hand. As far as the ergos go, yeah, this is going to be a full 4-finger grip all day, even with some jimping here on both the handle and the liners for additional grip. That knife is not going anywhere. And also, you can forward choke a tad bit. I wouldn't call this a finger choil, but you can, right? Very carefully forward choke. And also this little ramp up on the blade feels great for the thumb. Love to see that. And yeah, just absolutely a workhorse with MagnaCut steel. One of my favorite premium steels these days. So love to see it as well. So all around, absolutely a very awesome knife in so many different ways. Absolutely, I love it. So if you already love the Kershaw Belair, this clip point version, I mean, come on. Different geometry, but the same exact sauce. I want to say pocket clip. You do feel it there a tad bit, but nothing crazy. I'm going to go with a solid 9 out of 10. So overall, this is a great knife to start us off with. But wait, we have more. We got 3 more to go. So we're moving on to, bam, this guy right here. The model on this one is called the Remnant. Right, we have a micarta scales on this one, recessed liners, which is interesting how the Belair has exposed liners. This one has recessed liners, 2 standoffs, right, sandwich construction with a deep pocket carry clip, not as deep as the one on the Belair, which is looked at. It is reversible with a nice filler tab on the opposite side. I want to say that is probably steel. There we go. Yes, it is. This is more on the budget end of things. And we have a plunge lock button lock. So it's going to be super fidget friendly. Very interesting on the pivot here. Kind of has kind of like a hole going through it. Kind of looks like the assembly place for all the lint and pocket gunk to assemble at as a reunion whenever you carry this knife for a long time. But it is captive, and we have T8 on the other side. So that being said, let's go ahead and get this guy deployed here. Thumb stud deployment and a plunge lock button lock. Bam. Right. Look at that. Very smooth action on ball bearings. Right. None of that washers nonsense. Right. Give me some ball bearings for some very nice fidget friendly action. Very smooth on the open and close. Easy to take the knife out of your pocket, get some work done, cut whatever it is you need to cut, and then fold it pretty quickly, and then back in the pocket it goes. So we're looking at a beautiful drop point blade here with a full flat grind. That's looking pretty awesome there. Also with a stone wash finish, looking good. In-house design. This one is made in China. Model number is 2054, and it is in D2 steel. D2 is not corrosion resistant, so do keep that in mind. You don't want to leave this blade like wet in the backyard for 3 weeks and then come back to it and complain, oh, my blade rusted on me, I wonder why. So always take care of your blades, you know, wipe it clean after you're done using it, just regular maintenance and stuff like that. But yeah, punch lock, button lock here. It's not my knife, so this is a loaner, so I'm not going to do the whack test. But basically we have a cylinder under a coil spring there that goes into this little groove cut out on the tang of the blade, locking the blade as such. There you go. And of course, it's also going to act as sort of like a D10 for the lack of a D10 ball. That's pretty much a punch lock, button lock in a nutshell. Nowadays, a button operated liner lock is much more preferred because it gives you the same sort of deployment and fidget friendly factor as a punch lock, button lock, but it is a stronger locking mechanism than a this one here, right? Button operated liner lock over punch lock, button lock. So that should be the new standard. We definitely want to see more button operated liner locks going forward, but ergos are good. Oh man, ergos are really good, I'll tell you that. Definitely able to get a full 4-finger grip. I can forward choke a tad bit if I wanted to. Nice and rounded on the edges here on the micarta, and that just feels like a solid, again, workhorse of a knife. Good jimping there on the blade. Kind of wish it was a little bit more extended. You know, if I wanted to put my thumb a little bit further up on the blade. We're seeing more companies these days adding a longer jimping and also a little bit of jimping here in the front. So Kershaw, if you're watching this video, you're probably not, but yeah, it will be nice to see more additional jimping zones on your knife. So very nice streamlined knife here from Kershaw on the budget end of things. It's called the Remnant, right? We're moving on to the next one, and things are about to get spicy here. You don't want to miss the last one here. Second to last, we have this bad boy right here made in good old US of A, and it is a Kershaw, and let me give you a little hint right here, right? That right there, auto, right? That should tell you everything you need to know. We're gonna go ahead and press on the button here, and oh, bam, right? Ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at the Kershaw Launch 21. And by the way, Launch is their auto series. All their automatic knives are, you know, basically a launch model, launch 1, 2, 3, right, all the way to this is 21, specifically model 7106, made in good old US of A, an in-house design, and we're looking at CPM M4, another steel that is not corrosion resistant. This black coat here absolutely helps with that. Love to see it, but it is also a high-end steel as well, so it should perform very, very nice. What also stands out to me here is the amount of jimping, like hardcore jimping here, hardcore jimping there as well. A little bit of jimping even in the back of the knife back there as well. So we got quite a bit going on with this one, no doubt about it. And then we have the G10. Yeah, that absolutely feels like G10, giving me some really good grip. So I want to say aluminum. Yeah, these feel like aluminum handles. And we have G10 inlays with a little bit of a diamond pattern going on the inside. Some additional lines here and there and stuff like that. But got this OD green finish to it, right? Kind of very military style sort of knife. Or another patch or inlay of G10 on the opposite side. Again, giving you the benefits of, you know, G10 for the, you know, grip factor, but also leveraging, of course, the aluminum, right, all throughout the knife. There is no milling on the inside. Right? That's an executive decision there they made. It makes it very nice and easy to clean a knife, I'll tell you that. So, you know, you'd lose the weight factor, which, again, this knife, I don't really mind all that much. But cleaning a knife without milling on the inside, man, that is a dream. Super easy, right? You can even put a cloth through it, just cleans it like that. Don't have to worry about all the different pockets and cutouts and all that nonsense. Pocketclip is actually pretty small, and I thought it was interesting how on this previous model, we have a longer pocket clip than the one you get on the Launch 21, even though the handle is actually longer. So, Kershaw, if you can explain that one to me, let me know. That pocket clip actually feels pretty good. Some people do prefer a shorter pocket clip. So again, I'm just pointing out observations, not that that's an issue or anything, but it definitely excels on the ergos department, right? I'm able to get a full 4-finger grip, plenty of handle here to go. I can forward choke a tad bit if I wanted to. That is not a dedicated finger choil. But yeah, you definitely can accommodate big old bear paws. Pocket clip is actually a good solid 9 out of 10. Deep carry, reversible, just what you love to see. And then, you know, kind of reloading this guy. Right, there we go. Bam. I mean, it's got some recoil to it for sure on the deployment. Check that out. And obviously check your local loss, whether or not you can carry an automatic knife or not on your person. Almost a full flat grind on this one. Clip point blade with some belly, right? Great for tabletop cutting, slicing, and whatnot. So Can I do it one-handed? Let me try. Yes, you can do it one-handed if you wanted to. Ladies and gentlemen, the Launch 21 from Kershaw. But here we go. Let's go ahead and check out the last one. I think this one takes the cake as far as the ones that we've been looking at so far. As a matter of fact, they've all been solid in their own way. But now we're talking about a CT knife. And if you know anything about CT, it is a sister brand to Kershaw, but a little bit more high-end, right? And this one is the ZT0203. And right off the bat, it already feels like a more hardcore knife. For sure, we got exposed liners on this one. These are going to be steel liners. 2 standoff sandwich construction. The pocket carry clip that is reversible on the other side. It's interesting how it has 3 holes, but the pocket clip only has 2 screws. So that's an interesting decision there. And thumb studs for deployment. We have a very interesting captive pivot here with some, I want to say, proprietary hardware. I mean, it doesn't seem like, you know, hold on a second. So that's a captive pivot. And this you probably need to get your wrench out or something. Interesting call, interesting decision there to say the least. It is going to be a crossbar lock, but check out these ramps. All right, we got some jimping on these ramps on both sides. And I'm not gonna lie, I tested this off camera before starting the video because these came out without a box, by the way. These are loaners. Shout out to Lefty EDC and his knife pass around. So no boxes for these, otherwise I would have shown you the whole unboxing experience. But I tried this one off camera, and man, this is a very, very smooth crossbar lock experience. So bam, on the close, on the open, oh, so buttery smooth. Some people are pretty sick and tired of crossbar locks, and some companies don't really implement crossbar locks as well as they should. But I want to tell you, man, for a robust knife like this one, so buttery smooth. What a great implementation of a crossbar lock. So right off the bat, look at this tank. It is an absolute behemoth, right, compared to my baby hands. The specific model is 0203, like we said earlier, USA made with also M4 steel, just like the Launch 21. This one is serialized, serial number 0026, and it is an in-house design. This is a black PVD coating, by the way, same deal as on the Launch 21. So again, it's going to help that M4 steel, right, fight corrosion and whatnot. And it kind of goes really good with this OD green and black combo. Love to see it. Drop point blade with this kind of indentation curvature going on there. So that's going to be perfect for your thumb. That's my theory, and that is now a fact. So yeah, put your thumb there and you are ready to get some work done. Let's just zoom out a bit because this knife is pretty huge. So look at this, right? Lock and loaded, ready to go. We don't have a finger choil, but again, we can forward choke here very carefully, right? And then thumb here on the blade. That feels right at home. Or you could do the hammer grip more like back here with the thumb on the jimping there, right? Very minimal jimping. But yeah, look at this. Full purchase, still plenty of handle left to go. If you got big old bear paws, man, I tell you, this is definitely one of the knives for you, right? This is the knife for you, for sure. So feeling really good. Again, pocket clip. It is slightly different variation of a pocket clip here, but it feels very nice and comfortable. I'm going 9 out of 10. And you probably, I'm not sure if you noticed this or not, but let me point it out. The G10 has this sort of texture to it, right? So G10 is already grippy. Adding this texture to it absolutely helps it a ton, right? Very, very grippy. For sure, it goes basically the entirety of the handle. So that absolutely looks good and feels good, and definitely very intentional. And this just feels like one of those workhorse knives on trash day, right? Or you got a big task. You don't want to bring out your, wimpy knife. You want to bring out a big old tank like this one. That's exactly what this one is going for here. The 0203 from ZT, zero tolerance knives. Got a big old ZT logo here. A little bit heavy on the billboarding because they're going to smack you with another ZT logo on the pocket clip. So kind of nitpicking at this point. Thumb studs are nice and pretty thick, right? And I'm able to reverse flick as well with the nail, with the meat of the middle finger. So both of them work. And again, right, look how smooth this is. Super, super smooth. I don't think it comes across on camera. It is a heavy blade, I'll tell you that. Like, it just drops on its own like that. So very nice little lineup here from CT and Kershaw. Let's do a little bit of a rewind. Again, the 0203 from Zero Tolerance. We got the Launch 21 right there from Kershaw. The Remnant, a little bit more on the budget end of things. And then we have a sort of the middle of the road Belair clip point. So Guys, let me know which of these is your favorite, which one stands out to you the most. I kind of like the aesthetics. So many of these are like black and green. Even the micarta is green, or black micarta, or black and green G10 aluminum. This whole combo here looks very military sort of oriented. So love to see it. Again, I'll have links to all these in the description and pinned comments so you guys can check them out. Prices, availability, and variants. It does help out the channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you and at zero extra cost. Most importantly, let me know your thoughts on these. What do you like about them? What do you love about them? Is there anything you dislike about them? Any feedback, right? All feedback, comments, questions, concerns are welcome in the comment section down below. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Either this one or this one. Peace.